All right, clap.
And we're live. We are back for the Purple Peaks podcast with Minty and Kula.
Welcome back, everybody.
What is this, episode 5?
Episode 5.
Episode 5 for a 6-game winning streak. The last time we recorded was after the Denver win. And let's see, there's been 4 games since then. So we got a lot to talk about today.
A lot. And real quick, just a moment of silence for Mavs fans. We know Minty's a little bit of a Mavs fan, and last night we witnessed a very sad, I guess, addition to the sequence of events that's been for the Mavericks, and that was Kyrie Irving, who was just confirmed to have a torn ACL this morning. Suffered it last night in the loss against who'd they play last night? I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking.
But yeah, obviously we will talk Lakers, and yeah, just to conclude this Mavericks segment here, I want to inform you all that Anthony Davis is injured. Daniel Gafford is injured. Jaden Hardy got hurt last night too. Kyrie Irving is injured. That's 4 players. Derek Lively is hurt. That's 5. Caleb Martin is hurt. That's 6. And possibly others. But 6 players injured just off the top of my head. And in addition to that, you traded away the greatest scorer of all time. Well, not all time, I should say, but of currently, I should say, in the league. So that's the Mavericks for you. But
Historic run by Nico Harrison.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the Lakers. On that note.
Hey, I just wanted to get it out there. You know, we're thinking about you, Mavs fans. All right, we're thinking about you. Even here talking all Lakers, all about your boy Luka. We're thinking about you guys, and I'm only bringing that up because Minty just found a tweet by a Lakers fan page, and I guess it was literally just calling for Mavs fans to join the Lakers bandwagon, which I will call now too. Because I think that the Lakers are going to the finals. I'm going to make my prediction right now. They're going to the finals. They're going to the finals. They're going to get the 2nd seed. I think they'll hold on to it. They have it now, and the 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe just 3 and 4. But that little group there, they're all within a game and a half, 2 games of each other. But I think the Lakers they found their groove. They've got that tough stretch coming up that we were talking about last time, or maybe the episode before, but I think the Lakers are getting to the point where they're figuring it out. And, yeah, making my prediction, we're going to the finals. I don't know how Minty feels about that.
You're being dead serious.
Hey, man, as a Lakers fan and doing this podcast, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think they're going to the finals. That's my prediction. They'll go to the finals.
Okay.
I think the matchups that they'll go up against in the playoffs, if they get the 2nd seed, I think most of them will be pretty favorable. And by the time they do get to the conference finals, which we can all agree that I think the Thunder will be the ones that they will face in the Western Conference Finals, 1 and 2, or the Nuggets. I mean, either one.
Maybe. Yeah.
Either one. I think it's Nuggets, Thunder.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's my prediction. Finals right here, right now, at the beginning of the podcast. So I'm making a call to all you people that are having trouble with your teams or whatever. The bandwagon's open. Like, go ahead, join on.
Sign on. I mean, yeah, especially if you're a Mavs fan. Like, I don't know what more you have to live for, so might as well hop on board. But definitely an impressive 6-game stretch here. Have the Pelicans tonight. Could extend that winning streak to 7. Just definitely depends on who's playing and who's not. They're coming off. Well, it wasn't a back-to-back, but it was back-to-back with the Clippers, but there was a day in between. But so we'll see who plays and who doesn't. But they could, possibly extend this to a 7-game winning streak. Over the 6-game winning streak, though, I mean, we actually were talking. So we were going to record on Saturday and had some difficulties, but we were kind of chopping it up a little bit. And we both, were just astounded at the level that LeBron James is playing at.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we wanted to talk about this time because it's all been Luka. How's Luka playing?
Yeah, the attention and the hype.
Yeah, we're like, Luka. And in the midst of that, LeBron's having I don't know if we have the graphic, but they put it up. I think it was against the Clippers on Sunday, but dude's playing better or technically better right now than he did in one of his MVP
Oh yeah,
seasons in
yep,
Miami. I
yep.
mean, just in this game stretch, I think it's like a 10, 15 game stretch that he's been playing like this, but LeBron, you got to give him I'm not going to say all because Luka's been playing well the past 2, 3 games, but or he's like put up pretty good point totals, but LeBron's been there this whole time. He hasn't left. Like it's not Luka comes in, it's all Luka. Luka's playing bad. The Lakers are playing bad. LeBron has been able to pick up what Luka has put down for the Lakers, and he's been playing at right now. Looks like he might get some MVP votes. I'm not gonna lie. 40 years old, but I think another graphic I saw this morning is games without Luka and AD. LeBron averages 33, 8-8, and the Lakers are 7-1 without LeBron being next to another superstar. And so, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
8 games, you got 82, but the past 20 games, the Lakers are the number one defensive efficiency, like a defensively efficient team. They're number one in opponents' points per game scored in those last 20 games. And 20 games, we've been talking a lot about how we don't have like this small sample size. 20 games is a quarter of the season.
Yeah.
And to be that good for a quarter of the season is a really good. It's really good. And LeBron has been a huge part of that. We've seen his reawakening as a defensive presence, and that's been to kind of disguise Luka's defensive incapabilities, and that we can get into how that's JJ Redick's, just being a genius and just allowing LeBron to kind of roam on defense, and we've seen what kind of defensive player he can be if he really wants to.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why he's able to do that is because he's not having to carry such an oversized load on offense. And you have another guy like Luka who can, I mean, the last 3 games he's scored 20 or more points, 30 technically in 2 of those, but you have a guy that could do that. I mean, AD, we know how inconsistent AD's scoring efforts are, but Luka's a guy that can give you 20, guaranteed 20,
Yeah.
because he's going to get to the line at least 10 or 12 times a game. And for LeBron to have that, it allows him to save energy. And I think in this 6-game win streak, the games that I've watched, LeBron still has the majority of the control over the offense when they're both on the floor. But you can see into that second half of those games, Luka starts to take over. And I think the reason for that is that you tend to need, I mean, we all know Luka's a great closer. He's a great closer. He's able to get you those shots that you need, make those buckets you need at the end of the game. And that's kind of where you tend to lean on LeBron's just like ability to play great defensively late in games. And we saw that in the 6-game win streak.
Yeah, I mean it's been incredible. The average score. I mean, just speaking of defense, the average score over the 6-game winning streak is Lakers winning 110 to 101, and a lot of those scores have been pretty close to that. A lot of the scores have ended up with the other team scoring 102, which there's been some funny tweets about that, just with an obsession with 102. But no, I mean, like, in the modern NBA, you just don't see that. Like, teams being held to, I mean, they held the Mavs, I believe, to 99. Like, you just don't see that. And it just goes to show this team how they're playing and rallying around each other. And that is something that Gabe Vincent came out and said within the last few days. Someone asked him, like, like, what's gotten into this team? Why is this team playing so well? And Vincent's response was essentially, well, we're just all rallying around each other. And the main thing that stood out is he went on to say, I think, like, something along the lines of, I think we've all figured out, like, our roles or where we fit in or what we're supposed to do, something along those lines. And you can clearly see that from this 6-game stretch. On the defensive end, certainly. And then offensively, I mean, you can't go wrong offensively when you have Luka Doncic and LeBron James. So over this streak, you have LeBron James just going to show this man's absurd greatness. He's averaging 28.3 points a game, with Luka averaging 26.4, and then Reeves averaging 20.8, and then Rui averaging 11.8. And Rui is hurt, so Rui's only played in 4 of those 6. LeBron has played in 6 of those 6, and then Luka and Austin Reeves have only played in 5 of those 6. But that's kind of where the scoring, because I don't know, I with this Lakers team, I mean, this year and just pretty much every year before this, it's like, okay, where is your scoring? Like, I've always wondered, like, where does the scoring come from outside of LeBron and I guess AD in the past? And, like, I don't know. That's just kind of the first question that comes to my mind naturally. And so you're getting it from Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and last game, we just were talking about this before recording. Last game was the Dalton Connect game where he drops 19 off of 5 3-pointers, and that was impressive. Just watching the game back, honestly, like it's just a lot of LeBron. Like, so the crazy thing is LeBron had 9 assists that game, and so did Luka. So they both had 9 assists, combining for 18 assists, and even watching the game back, like a lot of those passes were kickouts to Dalton Connect, and he steps up and knocks it down. He actually went 5 for 8, so he did have a few misses, but even those misses were like spot on passes. Like, I mean, those were like 50-50. Like those could have gone in too. Like just watching it back, they were great shots, great looks. Dude was wide open, and that's how it's going to be when you play with Luka and LeBron. Dorian Finney-Smith said something. What was the quote? He said something funny. Like I think he said like how like they were like, man, like how nice is it playing with LeBron and Luka, or how open are you? And he says, I'm like butt naked open or something funny like that. And
Seems
so
about right.
that's true. I mean, you see that for Dorian as well. He's been knocking shots down, but yeah, I was just watching the game last night, Clippers game, or 2 nights ago, and yeah, Dalton Connect looked great against the Clippers.
He did. And once again, like we were talking about in the last episode when we saw how he played, I think in the Hornets or Blazers game, or maybe even Denver when he just came in and hit a couple threes. We were talking about how good it was to see a resurgence of him and not a regression, especially coming off the failed trade.
Yeah,
And there was a little bit of a narrative that actually started. I don't know where I saw it, but it was like LeBron was the one that was like, I don't want Mark Williams. Like that's part of the reason why they wanted to fail him on his physical. A lot of controversy behind that, but um, LeBron was like, I don't think we need that type of guy. I think just need to do our best to surround Luka and I with shooters. And he was like, we're literally giving up one of our great young shooters. Why would we do that? And you see it comes in handy here in a game against the Clippers when you're playing a big like Zubats. I mean, how good or how effective is a guy like Mark Williams going to be in a game like that? Especially when you have a game plan in place to allow the other team to shoot a ton of threes, and you want to spread the floor as much as possible. And on offense, where you would be missing a guy like Don Connect that can give you the timely three, that can make 3, 4, 5 threes if he wants to, depending on the looks that you get him. And yeah, I really like what you said about the looks that he was getting. Period.
yeah,
Whether it was catch and shoot or just honestly passing it to him at the right time. I mean, in the shot clock, you got 10 seconds left. You give it to Don at the top of the key. You get that ball from Luca or LeBron. It happened, I think, a couple times, but Don's like, okay, I'm gonna do what I do best, and that's knock down a stand up three, whether it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. And he did that a couple times off the dribble, just either a step back or something. He'd knock it down, and Mark Williams isn't doing that. And it's like if we would have
that's true.
traded
That's
for
true.
Don Connect or for Mark Williams, I mean, maybe the paint presence would look a little better, but we definitely lack in the 3-point shooting, which I've said multiple times has always been a kryptonite for us. And it's good to see that he's playing really well and that he did that well in the
Yeah,
Clippers game on Sunday.
yeah. No, it's funny when I was watching. Like, I just thought of a comparison. like, I mean, huge Cougs guy, like, would die for the Cougs, the BYU Cougs. And it's like, I think of Luka, like, just driving, kicking out, whatever it is, to his shooters, which is, I mean, when he comes back, Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect, like, those guys are snipers. And I was just thinking, man, it's like Yegor Demin, who is also an overseas prospect who also played for Real Madrid, same as Luka. And it's like him kicking it out to Trevin Nell, who's like an eighth-year senior, but he's one of the greatest shooters. Like, he shoots like 40% from three. And Richie Saunders has been like an all Big 12 first team player this year as well. So, like, I was just thinking of that. Like, I mean, it's kind of the same dynamic where, like, yeah, maybe you don't necessarily need that big man when you are just driving and dishing. You have two dominant players who attract so much attention, anyways, that it's going to leave these shooters open. And, like, yeah, if these shooters make these shots like they should, whether it be Dorian Finney-Smith or Gabe Vincent, like, that's hard to beat. And you've seen that with BYU as well. Like, BYU's been great this year and even last year with a similar-ish system with Mark Pope of just, like, chucking up threes at a mass volume. But, like, at a certain point, if you're that open, you have to take it. And if you're that open, you're probably going to make it. So I've liked what I've seen from the offense, from the defense. And right after these top four scores that I mentioned earlier, it's funny, I was just checking, is Jackson Hayes, who is actually averaging 7 points a game. So, I mean, which isn't a lot, but it is the fifth most on the team right now over this 6-game winning streak. And then, so that's offensively. And then on the defensive end, we have a huge tweet here from Laker Tom. I'm assuming he's probably a team insider or professional of some sort. About Jackson Hayes on the defensive end, which has, I mean, that was the main storyline with the trade and with the deadline. Like, man, the Lakers don't have a center. Like, I don't know. We've that's been well documented. We've talked about that. But Laker Tom says Jackson Hayes 102.5 is NBA best center defensive rating since February 1st. And he goes on to say, it's time to give Jackson Hayes his flowers for the job he's done as the Lakers' starting center. Frankly, he may be the single most important Lakers role player. That's a bold statement. Losing him would hurt as much as losing LeBron or Luka. That is also a bold statement.
Ooh.
I haven't read this in depth. Like, so this is like my first time
Well,
reading
you're
this.
fine because I just read the first little bit and I was like, I like that, and then you just read that and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay,
Okay. Let's see,
buddy.
see what else he has to say here. Jackson Hayes is not only proving he can hold down the starting center role for the Lakers, but that he can be one of the best centers in the league, both on offense and defense. Okay. So stop this talk about Lakers not having a starting center. Since February 1st, Hayes has posted an individual defensive rating of 102.5, which is the sixth lowest among all players who played 20 minutes in 4 or more games. Among those playing center, Jackson Hayes' defensive rating over the last month was number 1 in NBA. Jackson also posted a respectable 114.2 offensive rating and an excellent 11.9 net rating. Third best on the Lakers over the last month. And I'd imagine Luka and LeBron are number 1 and 2 there.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that Lakers can't upgrade the position. Okay, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or that we don't need more depth. But right now, the Lakers have their starting center, and his name is Jackson Hayes. Show some respect.
I agree with the first part and just like the statistical points of his statement, except for the LeBron and Luke. Like, what are you talking about? Don't tell me he's more important than the two best players on our team. I like where you're coming from on that. I do believe Jackson Hayes does deserve more respect than he is getting. I think when you have a player like LeBron and Luka, you tend to look around and you're like, oh, who else they got? You gotta get Jackson Hayes at center. That's a nobody. And it's like, if you really watch the games, he's an impactful player. He puts in time and he gives you good solid minutes, good solid 20 minutes. And those 20 minutes are full of energy. And on both offense and defense, I don't think I've seen more emphatic slams from a center than from Jackson Hayes.
Yeah.
Other than when we had AD, and the only time you get those from AD is putback dunks. But Hayes is coming downhill and he is slamming that thing. Like,
He gets up.
It's insane, like how hard he freaking goes in the paint. But
Yeah.
Um, no, I agree with that. I think he does deserve some more respect than he's getting as a starting center. I do think it's not what the Lakers want, but I think it's what the Lakers need right now.
Okay, okay. I like
Um,
that. I like that.
Especially just with the play style that they're trying to go with. And we talked about this before. I don't think the Lakers would be playing this type of basketball if they had a more reliable option at center.
Yeah.
But they're playing to their strengths and they're also playing to their weaknesses. Like Jackson Hayes isn't going to give you 20 boards, 10, 15 boards like AD was going to give you, but he's going to give you some space on offense. He's going to give you some penetration in the paint as well. And yeah, I think he offers space. He's nowhere near a great 3-point shooter, but playing that dunker spot does allow you to run a little more, I guess, motion on the outside and will get you inside. And we've seen multiple times, even though we don't have a dominant offensive center, he's still able to get in the paint and he still gets opportunities. And with the way teams try to play Luka on the pick and roll, and I think the way they try to double him high. I mean, Luka's one of the best pocket passers in the league. Same with LeBron. They're always going to make the right read. And I've seen too many times, especially in this 6-game win streak, when you get that pocket pass off the double team, I mean, you could take a fan from the stands and they'll score there. Like the lane is so wide open, it's not even funny. And when you have Luka and LeBron playing it the way that they do, it does make opportunities like that easier for players like Jemison or Hayes. And when those guys get going downhill, there's not very many people that can stop them
Yeah.
because Jackson Hayes is super tall, super wide wingspan, and he's coming downhill. And I think, like I said, it's not what the Lakers, I mean, essentially want, especially Laker fans, because they've made it very apparent that they want a different center.
Yeah.
But I think for right now, it's working. We're not going to get another center. I don't think we are. I think we're just rolling with what we got because we picked up the wrong guy, I think, in Alex Len because he hasn't played, I think, in the 6-game win streak.
Yeah.
It's all been Jemison and Hayes, and I think it's a solid rotation there, two-man center rotation. And like we've been talking about, when you have Luka and LeBron, you don't really need a crazy center.
Yeah.
You have so much playmaking that you, like I said, fan from the stands in the lane off the pocket pass. Anyone's making that with that much space in the paint. So,
Yeah. No, I have loved what I've seen from Jackson Hayes. Like, this is crazy in itself too. Can't believe I'm saying this, but like pick and roll, it's like Luca and Lively were just like so dangerous just because of the lob threat, and you've seen that at least a couple times where Jackson Hayes will come up, set the pick, roll, and like alley oop dunk, like, and he's getting up there because he's just super like tall, lengthy, athletic, and just bouncy. Like he jumps out of the gym and slams it, yeah, with some serious passion and authority,
aggression, dude. Like,
aggression, yeah,
he goes.
all the above there, and yeah, like
And he hits free throws. He's a 72% free throw shooter as a center. Like, that's
hey,
what more can you ask for?
yeah, we'll also take that as well. Like, I mean, yeah, naturally that position is going to come with a lot of contact and fouls and getting to the line,
Yep.
and so yeah, you
If he
need
can
that.
knock those down.
Yeah, you definitely need that. And yeah, like even without him, like we've seen Rui at the 5. We've seen almost forgot his first name, Jared Vanderbilt come in and just be a menace on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Like this dude is crazy.
Yeah.
And like yeah, I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I look at this roster, the rotation, and kind of the scheme, I guess, the overall scheme that JJ Redick has put in place. Like I don't know, like I'm almost starting to think, and maybe I fully do think, like, man, this team does have enough. Like, you know, they actually do have enough to make a run, like you were saying. I mean, Kula's calling for a finals run, which is just wild. But it's like I am starting to feel a little more confident. I mean, if you finish the month of February 10-2, and
Against good teams. You play the Clippers back
yeah,
to back. You played Minnesota. I mean, these are teams that are playing with a chip on their shoulder. Like they have something to play for. So do the Lakers every game. But these teams are like on the edge of play out. Like Dallas trying to get in the play-in, trying to get into the playoffs. You play Denver, fighting for that second seed too. Who else did they play in February? Golden State. Did they?
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
no,
I'm
no, that's
just
that's yeah. But like Utah, but yeah.
no. It definitely has been impressive, and like I don't know. I guess my point was just like, yeah, if you finish a month, I mean, granted you have the All Star break in there, but if you finish a month 10-2, like I'm feeling pretty confident about that. And only teams with better records in the month of February were the Cavs, who are just insane, the Thunder, and that's it. The Cavs went 10-1, the Thunder went 11-2, Lakers went 10-2, and it turns out the Nuggets actually went 10-2 as well. And shockingly, the Pistons went 9-3, which is wild, based on last year where they were the laughing stock of the league. But that's another conversation. Something else I'll bring up, just really quick, just funny little note here is Luka Doncic, amazing player, but he has made 19 threes as a Laker out of 70 attempts. So that's
27% from
that's
three.
27%. I don't know. I feel like the percentage doesn't sound as bad as the actual numbers. Like 19 for 70 sounds awful. But then I don't know. Either way you cut it, it's not great. But the good thing is he's on the up and up. I mean, against a huge game against Denver on the road, he shot 4 for 9. Just looking at it here, the first Clippers game he was 3 for 9, and then this most recent game he was 5 for 12, which is almost 50%. So it seems like he's slowly on his way out of that slump, which
Hmm.
would be great.
That'd be huge. And
Um,
another thing too is the Lakers are winning these games.
no, yeah, it's
That
like
he's
they're
not.
not. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
still winning. So
and that's like another great thing about a player like Luca is like he can go 1 for 9 and 1 for 7, just horrendous shooting numbers for a characteristically great shooter.
yeah,
But they find ways to win. Luca finds ways to contribute in other ways other than shooting the three. I mean, he gets to the line at least 8 to 10 times a game, knocks down pretty high clip of those, and assists like 6 to 9 every game. And so he finds other ways to contribute. But yeah, the shooting is 40 from the field, 27 from three. Not very. I mean, shell of himself, obviously, right now.
no,
But
yeah,
he's on the
definitely.
up and up, like you said. 21 in his past 3 games. His point totals are 21, 31, 29. So we're looking on an upward trend for his scoring.
Yeah, just more of his numbers, which yeah haven't been pretty. But against the Mavs, he goes 6 for 17 from the field. Against the Wolves, he goes 6 for 20. Um, what else? Against the Clippers, the first night he goes 9 for 22, and then this most recent game he was 9 for 17, which is actually pretty close to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Not because what? Yeah, 18. So yeah, I mean, definitely trending in the right direction, but yeah, I think these first couple of games, handful of games, yeah, they haven't been pretty, but as we mentioned, they're still winning, which
Yeah.
ultimately is all that matters. So,
And a huge part of that is the man, LeBron. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, we're talking about Luca's numbers, like you're bringing up in this little win streak, but LeBron, those same games, 27 points in that Mavs win, 33 in that Wolves win, which was huge because the Lakers almost blew a 25-point lead, and the resurgence of the Wolves came after Anthony Edwards went out, which is, I mean, you want to be worried, but we're not worried. 33 points in that Wolves win, 28 in that first Clippers win, and then his weakest of the win streak so far, 17 points, 1 of 6 from three. Um, LeBron's playing his heart out,
he is.
and I think he can smell blood in the water. Like I said last time, like he knows there's something about this squad, that's different from, I think, like recently, different of any team that he's played with recently in like the past couple of years. With AD, without, I mean, with an exception of that bubble team. I think that bubble team was actually goated. But I actually think that Lakers team was really, really good, and I don't know why they blew that up. Um, but yeah, I mean LeBron, this dude, I think if he keeps playing at this level, I mean even just for the stretch that they've been on, I think he should get some MVP votes. I mean whether they be third, fourth, but he needs to be in the conversation. He is the Lakers. I mean, without
Yeah,
AD, he still plays well. Like, dude always shows up. It's not like you have a terrible game. the Lakers lose. I mean for Luka, like you have a terrible game for Luka, you lose. No, like LeBron's still here. He's still reminding people. I think Nick said this when we were gonna record on Saturday, but he saw the same quote just keeps coming to his head. And he just woke up from a coma, and what was it? I told her LeBron's still doing it.
Yeah, tell her LeBron's still doing it.
Yeah.
Or the other one that I just thought of is like LeBron is like, thank goodness, like LeBron is 30 years old. This effery won't go on for much longer.
Yeah. Luckily, we won't have to deal with this crap for any longer. But sorry, he's still here. He's still here, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron is still here, and they have a couple more big games. And one thing about LeBron James is he's gonna show up for the big games, and they have a lot coming up. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about the win streak?
Well, with LeBron, like I think it was something I heard this morning, and I don't know who it was. It might have been Kendrick Perkins, but like the argument for LeBron, like right now, is like, dude, he's not just doing it on the offensive end, but he's also doing it on the defensive end at an elite level. And I think the conversation was like either like maybe the MVP conversation or just like who's the best player in the league right now. And obviously, like naturally, that answer right now is usually revolves around Nikola Jokic
Or Shea
or
now.
Shea. And whoever was talking, I think it was Perk, was saying like I would honestly take LeBron over Jokic right now because he's doing it on the defensive end as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we were listening to Perk before this as well. And to quote him, he said, LeBron, I believe it was LeBron is playing his behind off with Kendrick Perkins' signature accent as well, which is
Boy, who's behind off? That looks pretty good.
Gotta love. Hey, that was nice. We love Perk. Gotta love Perk.
Yeah, we love
But
Big
no,
Perk.
yeah. What were you gonna say?
Just to kind of close out the segment of the win streak. JJ Redick, go get yourself Coach of the Year. Please keep playing this team at a high level. Keep coaching them at a high level. I think if the Lakers finish at the second seed, it's really got to be him, or like Nick reminded me, Kenny Atkinson is also probably front runner too. But
Yeah.
JJ will make a strong case for being Coach of the Year. I think if they do finish on that 2-3 spot. But yeah, JJ Redick's coaching his behind off.
Yeah.
His behind off. But huge win streak going on right now. Lakers are trending upward, and yeah, let's give a lot of credit to all the players that are playing well. Rui, huge. Jackson Hayes, like we mentioned, huge playing. LeBron, Luka, who else? DSF, Jared Vanderbilt. I also want to give a shout out to our boy Gabe Vincent, who has been also playing really well too. Obviously, I want to see some throwbacks to that finals performance against the Heat, but still waiting on that.
Miami Gabe.
Yeah, Miami Gabe, we need that. Huge credit to the Lakers for this win streak that they're on, and also some of those games, either one of us, Nick or I, had penciled in as L's, and they're winning those. We'll kind of talk about that. The Denver, we already talked about that. We both had that as an L, ended up winning. The Mavs game, Nick had it as an L. They ended up winning that. Wolves game, I had that as an L. They won that. And then both of us had that second meeting with the Clippers as an L. I think some of that was just playing the same team twice. Hard to beat them back to back.
Yeah.
And the Lakers come in and do the same thing. So yeah, huge win streak going on right now. And if you're a Lakers fan, you gotta be excited. If you can tell I'm excited, I just said that they'd go to the finals. So
no, you have to be excited, and I don't even think we mentioned this, but the reason why you have to be excited, folks, is because the Lakers are now in the second seed in the Western Conference. Officially. And like we saw another graphic, and I'm looking at it here, as of December 16th, so what, 3 months ago, the Lakers were in the 10th seed. And here we are now, 2-3 months later, in the second seed. Obviously, with the Thunder far and away in the number 1 seed. I believe they're 10 games up.
Yeah, they're probably going to win that.
Yeah, they are dominating that.
Sure.
But no, at least, you're in the second seed, and we were clawing around in the third, fourth, fifth. It's all kind of tight there with the Grizzlies and the Nuggets, and can't remember who else. But yeah, getting the 2 seed was huge. Comes from the Lakers win, and then reason being also was the Nuggets lost to the Celtics over the weekend. So that's how that panned out.
Yep, and the Grizzlies are on a 3-game losing streak, and the Rockets have lost 2 in a row.
And I actually don't know the severity of it, but Jaren Jackson Jr. Got injured as well.
Sweet. No, I'm
So
just playing.
yeah, I don't know the severity of it, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, if he's out for an extended period of time, then that is great news for Laker fans. And then yeah, what did you say about the Rockets as well?
Yeah, they're on a 2-game losing streak. They've lost 2 in a row.
Okay.
But yeah, Grizzlies lost 3. So right now the Lakers are at 38 wins. The Grizzlies are at 38 wins, and the Rockets are now at 37. But they both have 23 and 24 losses. The Lakers set 21. So Lakers got a little bit of breathing room. The only team they really have to be worried about is the Nuggets right now. They're like literally right on their tail.
Yeah.
But luckily for the Lakers is they do have a should win game tonight against Pels.
They do.
They really should win tonight, and I think they will. We both have it as a W. They win that. They once again kind of widen that cushion between the Nuggets and those other 2 teams that we mentioned. But I think the real thing we want to talk about, if you don't have anything else, is that stretch that's coming up. A tough stretch.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that a lot.
Oof.
And yeah, I heard something. I mean, I'm looking at it right here, but I believe it's 3 back-to-backs in a week time, or maybe 8 days, essentially a week. I guess my question is like, for you, what, in your opinion, like how long do you think this win streak could last? Because tonight could be win number 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And then you have the Knicks at home, and then you go to Boston to face the Celtics. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Like, could this get to a 10-game win streak maybe?
I think it's possible, but I do think it ends either with that Knicks or Celtics game. It's a throw up there. I think the Lakers do win tonight and get to 7, but to ask for the Lakers to keep playing well, I mean, hey, if they were playing at MSG, maybe LeBron and Luka would go
Put on a show.
crazy. But I think it might end that Knicks game. I would love to see them beat the Knicks again. But the Knicks are also playing really well right now. I think they just beat the Grizzlies in a close one, and they're also on a 3-game win streak.
They're playing really well. I mean, just me that doesn't watch a whole ton of it. Like, I don't know. I do follow the Knicks, like, vibes, I guess. Like, just the team chemistry is just hilarious, the team dynamic. And, yeah, they do seem to be, like, I guess their team vibe is at an all-time high is what I'm trying to say.
They're just solid right now. I don't think they're not a serious threat in the East, but they're just a solid team. They play the Warriors today, which should be a good game, actually. Just really gauge where the Warriors are really at, because they haven't been playing anybody, and everybody's treating them like they're somebody. But, yeah, we'll see. I think it ends there with the Knicks. I'd love to see them beat the Knicks and go to Celtics on an 8-game win streak. Oh, that would be so good. But,
yeah,
I got to be realistic. I think it ends there with the Knicks game.
That's fair. That's fair.
If not the Knicks, definitely I think the Celtics will be where it ends. That's at Boston too.
Yeah, that's my thought. I mean, yeah, Pelicans should win tonight at home. And, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Knicks.
That's a toss-up.
Like,
Toss-up at home.
50-50. It's at home. Like, but, I mean, the Knicks have been playing really well, but so have the Lakers. So, yeah, no, I'm with you there. If it doesn't end with the Knicks, then I would think it would end in Boston, who are just insane. Yeah.
I mean, well, another moment of silence for that terrible L they took on Friday. They were up 25-3 in the first quarter and going to lose the game. Jeez. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, every team's got their weakness, but you know, as a Lakers fan, you'd love to see them just go undefeated for in the month of March. But with this schedule they got coming up, it's like, how do you pull that off? I mean, continuing down the schedule, they
have Denver twice.
Yeah, they go Nets, and then this is where that post from LeBron came up. This stretch that comes up, you go Nets, or this is after, but you go the Bucks, Denver, the Suns, Spurs, and then Denver Bucks again. And
that is I believe that's in a 7-day period, I believe.
Yeah, and I'd make my prediction for that stretch, but I think we'll probably put out another episode before they do play those games. But yeah, just looking at that stretch, and I mean, once they get past that tough stretch, Then you got Bulls, Magic, Pacers, Bulls. You got a couple wins there.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's a lighter load.
yeah. And then you got OKC to finish out the season. Depending on how far out they are, far ahead they are in the first seed, maybe they rest their stars. The Lakers can get another 2 wins there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think these next couple games, Pels should be a win. Knicks kind of a toss up here at home, or they're at home. I'm saying here, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Pelicans, shout out Kelly Olynyk on the Pelicans now. This is how you know you're just truly a bad team. And I'm speaking of the Utah Jazz here. Kelly Olynyk drops 26 points on your dome. Like, I'm just sitting there watching they're live in the Delta Center, and I'm just astounded. Like, dude, if it's Zion, I get it. Like, come on, bro's generational, and like he's the health. He's just like, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. He's been amazing this year and has actually been playing, so that's a shocker. But no, like, yeah, come on, Utah Jazz,
Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk, like, come get your mans.
If there's one thing about Kelly Olynyk that Jazz fans know is that he can get hot though. He can get hot,
That's true.
especially from deep. Like he can put it on you. But
No,
I
yeah,
think
I mean, yeah, should be a W
should be a
tonight
dub.
for
Should
the
be a dub.
Lakers, who are obviously much better than the Utah Jazz. But yeah, no, I mean it's been incredible, 6-game streak, and hopefully you get Rui back and
Austin
Reeves
Reeves.
and potentially even Maxi Kleber,
Yeah.
who has been a name floating around that came over in the Luka trade as well. I don't know. The latest I heard was honestly probably not till April, so that's probably a ways out. But I do think Rui and Reeves, especially Reeves, are probably a lot closer to coming back, which is going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be huge, especially for that stretch down.
And I mean they've won games without him.
They have
without Reeves
yeah,
and
I think
without
you had
Rui.
a graphic up there about it actually,
Yeah, there's one.
or a tweet.
Yeah, there's a tweet here from Pickup Hoop, just talking about with different players in, different players out. Lakers record without key players this season. Find this pretty interesting here. The Lakers are 4-1 without Anthony Davis, and then they are 3-1 without LeBron. They're 4-0 without Luka, and they are 7-2 without Rui, and then they are 3-3 without Austin Reeves. And then, I mean, yeah, bottom of that tweet says "next man up," which is super true. People have stepped up. I mean, dude, Trey Jameson has stepped up, for crying out loud. Like it's like, dude, you can just go down the line and like, it's just whether it's player development, whether it's coaching, whether it's chemistry, like whether it's just pure IQ from JJ, LeBron, Luka, combination of all three. Like it's like, this team has been great, and I don't know. I personally find it shocking. Like I mentioned before, like I'm always looking for like who's scoring, who's stepping up in the absence of LeBron or in the absence of AD or Luka, and this tweet just kind of proves like, oh, they're actually fine without those guys. Which I don't know, just me personally, and initially looking at it, you're like, oh, like LeBron's not playing, they're losing by 30 or whatever. Like that's kind of my initial thought, but this tweet definitely proves me wrong there. So,
but also crazy is that they're 3-3 without. I mean, probably the fourth most surprising guy, but Austin Reeves, you're 3-3 without him, and you can actually feel the absence of Austin Reeves when we play games without him. It's crazy because that Pacers game when he dropped 45 on their face, that was without LeBron and Luka. It was like, oh my goodness, we have a legitimate third option that can totally fill that second sometimes if he really needs to, and if he's really feeling it.
Yeah,
But
this dude has been incredible as well. I'm looking up some of his stats here, but and I mean that Pacers, was it the Pacers where he dropped 45?
He had 45.
Yeah, that was
against
incredible. And in his last, just finally pulled it up here, but in his last 12 games, he's averaging 22 points per game, on almost 35% three-point shooting. So this dude is a sniper. He's knocking him down at the free throw line, 92% at the line, and then 45 from the field. So, I mean, just looking at that shooting split, you're looking at a 45, 35, 92, which is crazy. And yeah, he's definitely a weapon. I mean, I think it's been well documented through the national media and various outlets that, I mean, he's one of the best and most legitimate third options on a team. I think that's obvious at this point. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think,
He might be one of the best third options,
yeah,
actually, in the
no,
league.
definitely.
He like the fact that he is capable of putting up like 30 to 240 if he's really on it. Like I'm not seeing any other third guys that are doing that. I really don't. I mean, most teams, it's really rare for a team to have a third guy, honestly. And I mean, yeah, but Austin Reeves is just this is easily his best season since drafting him.
Yeah.
And we've just seen it coming. Like he's been a great player for us past couple years, and this is just really good to see him once again. And he'll be that second guy once LeBron goes, depending on who they replace LeBron with. But
Yeah,
he'll be that second guy.
And I'm looking here. As of 20 hours ago, he's listed as questionable or game time decision against the Pelicans, and so I would assume that means he's playing tonight. So that's great to have him back, and that's an injury update there for him. So that's great to have him back tonight. I'm kind of presuming there, but I'm sure he'll show out in a game against the Pelicans, who aren't the greatest, not the best team, and so I'm sure we'll see a great game tonight from him, LeBron, Luka, and the whole team as a whole, and we'll be calling it a 7-game win streak, which will be great. And then we'll be moving on to the Knicks and the Celtics, and see what happens there. But it's going to be great to have him back. And then I actually don't know the timeline on Rui, but
I think he has a calf strain.
I thought Rui's was a little more severe.
Yeah. Like he's out.
Oh, well, this is a big word, but he's been diagnosed with left patellar tendinopathy. Dude, I probably sound like an idiot here. I guess that means I don't know. But sounds a little more serious is what my non-science brain is saying. So, we'll see what happens there. He's listed as out indefinitely, at least for tonight's game. So won't be seeing him tonight, but hopefully we see him soon.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Lakers fans, hold your heads high. We're looking really good right now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah.
We are looking great. Yep. We are looking great. And we'll be moving forward with the Knicks at home, which we mentioned could be a toss up. Not feeling super confident about the Celtics on the road.
Yeah, especially at the Garden.
Yeah, at the Garden. And, I mean, the Celtics have been one of the best teams in the league as well. So, natural to feel that way. But, hey, who knows? Anything could happen. J.J. Redick is a dog. LeBron has been playing his tail off. And we're hoping Luka's coming out of this shooting slump. And we're getting Austin Reeves back. So, who knows? We'll see. But for now, we'll catch you guys next time. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yes, sir.
Purple Peaks Pod, episode 5.
Make sure you check it out on YouTube as well.
Check us out. YouTube.
Just Purple Peaks Podcast on YouTube.
And Apple as well. Am I
Yeah,
right?
Apple as well.
Okay. Very good.
So we're rolling.
Okay. Well, I'm Minty. This is Kula, and we're out of here.
Peace.